Wolverine, Professor X, Magneto, Mystique, Jean Grey, all are well-known characters of the X-Men movies and are known as mutants. They have supernatural powers that are different than the normal human. She's a man. She plays too hard. There is no way a girl could do that. Did you hear how low her voice is? She is so tall. These are all comments that Brittany Griner has battled in her pursuit to be a star in the WNBA. In an article, Sexual Identity in Sports, Vicky Kane says, another way that media marginalizes sportswomen by constructing highly talented female athletes who deviate from norms of traditional femininity as deviant mutants, whereby their biological sex is questioned and or even subjected to sex verification testing. College standout and current WNBA star Brittany Griner is a recent example of a media-constructed deviant mutant. Because of her exceptional game-changing talent on the court, coupled with above-average height, she's 6'8", and a deep masculine voice. During Brittany Griner's collegiate career at Baylor, she battled opposing college coaches saying she plays like a man, to heckling comments from the stands and from opposing teams and fans. In Griner's book, In Her Skin, she tells a story about how the sports information director at Baylor gave her a goal of having 3 dunks in a game. This is a televised game. She had 2 dunks in the first half. In the second half, she got a rebound, and on the putback, she just put it up lightly. She said she could have dunked it to get 3, but she didn't. She ran down the court and thought, would LeBron go lightly on his competition? And from that point on, any chance she got to dunk, she went up with authority, and she got the record of 3 dunks in a game. Why does an athlete have to question how hard they should play? In the world of sports, you see every day how society and people react to what is different and not the norm. As female athletes are succeeding, there has to be questions of how can they do this so well. A lot of society does not think they can be that talented. And if they are, they must be a man or a lesbian. Ian Trollan wrote in The Impact of Media on Gender Inequality of Sport, sports media not only avoids covering women's athletes, but when it does cover them, those athletes conform to Eurocentric ideas of what a woman must be as both an athlete and a woman. Brittany Griner does not represent what the traditional woman should be. She wears baggy clothes, bow ties, she has gobs of tattoos. With her sense of style, Griner brings a deviant gender nonconformity to the court and to the culture that surrounds it. Her distinct fashion sense impresses even hardcore sports writers who don't generally care about such things. Brittany Griner is also an out lesbian. Griner had no idea her school had a policy against homosexuality until her coach urged her to keep quiet about it. Baylor University, a private Baptist school located in Waco, Texas, has a statement on human sexuality in its student handbook, located under the label Sexual Misconduct. It says that Christian churches across the ages and around the world have affirmed purity in singleness and fidelity in marriage between a man and a woman as a biological norm. Temptations to deviate from this norm include both heterosexual sex outside of marriage and homosexual behavior. It is thus expected that Baylor students will not participate in advocacy groups which promote understandings of sexuality that are contrary to biblical teachings. The university also encourages students struggling with these issues to consult either the Spiritual Life Office or Baylor University Counseling. When Brittany was recruited, she told her coach, Kim Mulkey, that she was gay. Mulkey told her that was okay. As an employee of a university and a unique talent comes to play on your team, do you support her or tell her to hide it? Should Mulkey been upfront with Griner? Yes, she should have. Can Mulkey use Brittany Griner to get Baylor a national championship? Also, did Baylor look the other way, knowing that Griner's personal appearance, how she dressed, and that she was openly gay? Yes, they did. In this case, recruiting and the dollars that she brought into the university trumped the rule that had been at Baylor University for many years. Should Brittany Griner succumb to what the media wanted to see from female athletes? Nancy Thabarg, in her article, Same Sport, Different Gender, discussed how the athletic body makes sport a particular powerful setting for the construction of gender ideologies, and this becomes the basis of gender ideology and masculine superiority. Brittany works with the same fashion designer as TV personality Ellen DeGeneres does. With Ellen, they seem to use female clothes and accent it with male touches. Brittany is just the opposite. She wears men's clothing and has her own personal style to make it Brittany style, like her patented Argyle socks. Nike signed her, and she is the only female athlete that Nike has signed that they let wear and promote male designs. Has she succumbed to what is normal? No. When the WNBA started, they promoted their female athletes different. Lisa Leslie, in a long gold beaded gown, walking down the runway next to a swanky hotel pool. Sue Bird, gazing sultry into a camera before lounging on a hammock, cradling a basketball. Tisha Panachero, a leading point guard, wearing a black leather vest and stroking her yellow sports car. Now the WNBA is not trying to muzzle Griner, but putting her face front and center, which fits in the era of dramatic gay rights movements. University of Massachusetts Amherst sports management professor Janet Fink is highlighting a player's expertise. Sexualizing female or male athletes can actually undercut their skill in a public mind, Fink adds. If you show tennis player Andy Roddick in his underwear and then ask people about his athletic ability, his scores are much lower than if you have him on the court. That may seem obvious, she says, but we do that with women all the time. So it's no wonder that any old guy thinks he can play the UConn women's basketball team and beat them. Back in the corporate offices of the WNBA, league research also shows that fans share a goal of living in a world where gender equality exists in all its forms, says Laurel Ritchie, WNBA president. The difference between showcasing that and the 2003's opportunities for women is subtle, but the new approach can be read as specifically embracing lesbians, she acknowledged. They're a real significant portion of the season ticket fan base in the WNBA. Brittany has accepted that challenge and feels that she can be a role model in a way she has handled many of these issues. At the Teen Choice Awards, after she was drafted, Griner commented on how she hoped to inspire people. Just never backing down from a challenge. Always embracing your own image, Griner says. I'm a different player. I'm a different person. Large feet. Big hands. I don't have a soft voice. People say I have a deep voice. And yeah, I do. I'm just so comfortable with it, and if I can just give back to the younger generation and younger girls and younger guys that are all different as well. Anybody that's different, be who you are. You never want to change that. Why should the white man media judge if she is confident in her own skin and what she is representing? Or Will she be the next character in a Marvel Comics X-Men series?